It's 107.7 The Bone, Baby Huey, along with Chasta and Chasta. Once again, we're outside the radio station, and we're on a tour bus outside of the Fillmore, and we're here with a very special guest.
Okay, I'm going to try to keep my composure this time. Last time we interviewed him about 2 weeks ago, I lost my shit. So this time, Starr of Blackberry Smoke.
Thank you very much.
How you doing?
Great. How about you guys?
Awesome. I mean, especially Chasta. She's been counting the days for this
Counting
show.
down. I've had a rip-off calendar in my house every day until now.
Me too. It's right over there.
So we're very excited. We're talking to you right for your big show here at the Fillmore in San Francisco, your band Blackberry Smoke. And yeah, thank you again for talking to us a couple weeks ago. But it's actually great to meet you in person. And
Same to you.
Yeah, it's awesome. So we're just having a lot of fun. Just couldn't wait to meet you.
Man, after we posted your last interview, and I was telling Jay this, my husband, I got more feedback from the Blackberry Smoke interview than I have any interview I think we've ever done.
Wow.
Including, I got a message from your mama.
Oh, yeah. She'll do that.
She is so cute. It was so sweet. It really was. She sent me a message just saying how proud she was of you and how much she liked the interview. Hey, don't feel bad. My husband's mother broke up a mosh pit at one of his gigs. So it's true. It could be worse.
Yeah. You understand my dilemma.
So what'd she say? Just that
she was proud and she congratulated. I'm 7.5 months pregnant, so she congratulated me on having a
well,
son.
congratulations.
Thank you.
this must be an honor. You're serenading the baby tonight.
Yeah, that's right. This is his first Blackberry Smoke. I have a onesie actually in my bag that I'm gonna have.
Try
you
not to
sign.
swear.
I already did once, so yeah.
But Chasta was telling me that you guys have an amazing fan base, and even outside we were, waiting to come on the bus, and we saw a huge line of people just line up to get ready to come in. Is that something you just notice around the country? You just have such a loyal following of your fans?
Well, I mean, over the years it's grown, exponentially, and they are loyal. You're exactly right. I mean, we couldn't be happier about, it would be horrible if nobody came, obviously. But, I mean, the people, they come to multiple shows and they buy every record and they know every song. And it's, I appreciate that. It makes it easy, makes the job easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you think that is? What do you think about you guys makes you have such a cult type following like that?
I don't know. I mean, we're...
Because you really don't have casual fans.
Right. I don't know. I think we live pretty close to the ground, as a band, and we've been really in touch with our fans and friends, really. So many of them are friends from the very beginning. Accessibility, maybe, which is not something we really thought either way about. It's just something that came really naturally to us in the beginning. We would go and talk with people when we wanted people to like us,
Yeah.
And then I don't know, we're not 18, so we don't have any kind of rock star trip about being untouchable and these days, how could you? I mean, social media, everybody is in your world if you're available.
Yeah. People appreciate that genuine feel, though. They can tell you're real people just doing what you love. And I think that's what comes through in the music, and it's what comes through on social media.
Well, I just think, for me, I mean, Chasta's introduced your guys' music to me, and what I've been loving about you guys is it's a mixture of a throwback to all the great bands. I'm sure you hear it all, Skinner, Allman Brothers, all that stuff. But also, you guys have your own sound as well that's just different than what's currently like on active rock radio stations.
Or even country. There's you're in between.
It's refreshing to get all that in your music. And so is that something when you guys started out, you're like, let's maintain our roots, but also something that is different as well? I mean, like for you guys, I just respect that your sound is just, it's just great to see bands like you exist still.
Yeah.
It's nothing that we ever discussed. I think really it just was a happy accident. I really don't know. I mean, we never planned to be a Southern rock band or whatever people like to call us. It really is. It's just the way that we sound when we play together.
The writing process, since we're on the tour bus, and you guys tour like 250 shows or something like that a year.
Yeah.
Is this where the magic happens? Is this where you guys write on these couches, or is it just when you get inspired?
I just write when I get inspired and then finish songs at home.
Okay.
And it's always really been that way because we've always been touring. So, and when we were in a van, there's no way I could ever say like, would everybody shut up?
Yeah, it must get loud on this
But
bus.
you know, you gather information, you know, really like a journalist.
Yep.
And then, and being a guitar player first and foremost is as a guitar player, you're always fiddling around with something new, you know. And then go home and make sure my son likes them first.
That's the first approval.
If he does, then I send him to the band.
Nice.
Are you talking about your younger
The
son?
older
Both
son.
of them.
Oh, both
Okay.
of them. So I was going to ask you, your mom told me. Your mom told me that your youngest son does yoga, which I thought was incredible.
He does, yeah. Well,
I mean, 2 year, isn't he 2?
He's 2,
ish?
yeah.
2-year-old yoga. That's got to be a different kind of yoga, I would imagine.
yeah, just for a second.
Yeah. He can do downward dog. That's about
But
it.
really, his session is over quickly.
Yeah. So he's obviously into stuff like that. But is he into music? And do you want him to
Yeah.
be into music and going into the biz? If you
I don't know
will?
about the biz. My oldest son he'll be 20 soon, and he's a great guitar player, and he grew up around this as well, and he's got bigger plans than this, and I'm happy. I think he saw the early days with no tour bus and no, you know, when we didn't have
The van days.
people in line to get into a show.
Right.
Not that he was deterred because he still plays music, but I think I don't know if he wants any part of the biz.
I gotcha.
And you know, it's there for him for anybody who chooses. You know, you're never too old if you think, well, I'm not going to try and make a record.
Yeah.
So,
What would you say to bands that are trying to start out now? Because the industry is so strange. I mean, it's a different beast than it was
Right.
when you
I
guys
would-
even started.
yeah.
It's tough
I
for
would
us
say-
'cause
I
people
would-
come to us asking for
Asking.
advice.
Right.
I don't know what to say. So.
Yeah.
I would say tour,
Just constantly tour.
Yeah. Because that's where, if you want to make a living, you know, I mean, our fans allow us to make a living because we tour and they come
Yeah.
and they buy tickets. So, because nobody's selling records,
That's for
not
sure.
anybody I know.
Yeah. And there's no record companies that, you know, are you watching the show Vinyl on HBO?
Yeah.
Oh, is it so good or what? But there's no record companies that really invest their guts, not just money, but
Right.
guts and all of it into bands anymore. It just doesn't really happen the way that it used to.
It doesn't, and you know, I mean, there's the debate about streaming music, and in some ways you can, if you really think about it, you can see both sides of the argument. But like I think Dave Grohl said, well, when we release a record, it's really just an advertisement to get people to come see our tour.
Right.
But at the same time, and he would, I'm sure, agree as a songwriter that it's devalued the song so much now. It's like, okay, well, this art that you create, this song that you write, that you really feel so passionately about, is it worth a cent?
Yeah. Oh.
Really? I mean, you know, or
Yeah.
you know, fragments of a cent, and then it's like, you know, you pour your heart and soul into this record that you make, and then Apple streams it for free.
Yeah,
It's
I know
like-
that. So it's
Okay.
almost like you're writing for free and you're playing for a ticket. I mean,
Right.
that's really where it comes down to. I get that because I am spreading the smoke, and I tell everybody I know, and I get this question every time: where do I start? And I always feel so much pressure, like what album do I start with, or what song do I start with? And I tell them I started with Ain't Much Left of Me, and then One Horse Town was right behind that, and that got me hooked. So I sort of tend to tell them that. What would you want them to start on for Blackberry Smoke?
Well, I think it's my job to plug the new record.
Yeah, of course. Holding all the roses.
But no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean,
So you don't really care. They could start at the
Yeah.
first album or Hold On All the
they
Roses.
could. I think that most people. You're right. Like Ain't Much Left, the Whippoorwill record, I think
That's
is.
my favorite.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah.
You could go backward and hear how we sounded in the beginning, or you could come on to the newest record and hear how that record's, you know, there's an evolution from the first record throughout all the records.
Right.
And so the new record sounds different from each one of the other ones. Anyway, it's confusing. But
Yeah.
we have a brand new one it's almost finished.
Oh, that was my next question.
it'll be-
People are going to be stoked to hear that.
And and then I would tell you that it's the one.
Okay, of course, that's your job.
Each one that we make is my favorite.
Okay.
At the time.
Well, that's a good problem to have.
But
It'll
also,
get better.
Chasta was filling me in about some of your just pretty fun lyrics. And what was the one, Chasta, you were telling me
Well, I
about?
grew up in southern Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And my dad used to always say shit in one hand, you know.
Wish,
and,
yeah.
wish in the other, see which one fills up free for
Yeah.
the other. So are those ones that you were raised on and that's where you put them into the song? Did grandma say those things to you?
Well, not grandma.
No. Grandma was religious,
Yeah,
wasn't
she
she?
was.
Yeah.
No, that
she
was-
wouldn't say that one.
I mean,
my
you
dad
know.
was not so much.
Right. I work with these old dudes that said things like that.
Yeah.
I even had there was one, might have been the same dude, that if I asked for a cigarette or something from him, he'd say, "Boy, I ain't giving away nothing but hard dicks and black eyes." So I'm trying to fit that into a song.
You can do that. Surely there's got to be a way to fit that in somewhere.
Sorry, young fellow.
I know, right? Cody is his name. Well, I named him after my father, who used to say
Oh, okay.
shit in one hand, so he's fine.
Good.
It's in his blood. It's in his DNA.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So this is actually the third year my husband and I have spent our anniversary with you guys. It just so happened that way.
Oh, well, excellent.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. So tonight, we have to ask covers because when we saw you last year at the House of Blues, you did Led Zeppelin's Your Time Is Gonna Come, which completely blew our minds. I mean, we didn't see that coming, and when you started in, we were just like, what? So what, is there any big moments tonight with a new cover?
Well,
Or?
we'll probably do that again for you. But I think we're going to do, well, I had a request from some people last night that asked for us to do Yesterday's Wine in honor of Merle
Merle,
Haggard.
yeah.
So that we're going to do that.
So that was another question. Merle died, I think, 2 days after we talked to you last.
That's right.
Yeah, it was just right after we interviewed
Yeah,
you
on his
the first
birthday.
time.
That's crazy.
On his birthday, which he said he was going to
He
die
predicted.
on his birthday.
Mhm.
So did you did
crazy.
Yesterday's Wine. So Yesterday's Wine, for those of you who don't know, written by Willie Nelson, made famous by George and Merle. And you got to record it in 2009 with George.
With George,
How
yeah.
was that experience? I mean, he's a legend.
It was-
They both are.
It was incredible.
And how did it come to be?
Well, Jamie Johnson is an old friend of ours. And so I was just literally listening to that song one day as we were traveling, and I called him and said, "Hey, man, we should get together and record that song, just a one-off. That would be cool,
Yeah.
you know, because Jamie's voice is so great,
It is.
and he's just such a great artist." And he was like, "Yeah, man, I'll be there," you know. And I called our management at the time and said, "Well, let's go. We have a day off, August the 5th or something, you know, and we're going to be rolling through Nashville, so let's book a studio day." So they did. And then at the time, they were also dealing with George Jones and his wife,
Right.
In some capacity. And so they mentioned it to him, and he loves Jamie. He didn't know who we were. But anyway, so the guy I was talking to said, "What if George came by and sang?" And I said, "That would be great, but I didn't think it could happen."
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
And then sure enough, I looked up and he walked through the door.
Oh my God.
So he came in, and he was just about to turn 80 at the time. And so the producer of the day was like, "I don't know. I mean, I know he doesn't tour much anymore, and 80 years old that's getting up there."
It is, yeah.
So basically, I think he was saying don't over expect, but he couldn't have been more wrong, because he came in and just sang his ass off.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I mean, the three of you going back and forth, it's
Well,
it's beautiful.
Thank you. I thought that we would maybe he would sing a line or two,
Right.
but he was raring to go. He was like, "Let's sing the whole thing. Come on." So we sang it.
Wow. So that had to be a dream come true.
It was great.
And did you know Merle?
Never. I didn't know him.
Okay.
I was able to be around George several times, but I met Merle once.
Okay.
And he was really nice.
He was.
He was a friend of a friend, and he came through Atlanta, and we went and I got to meet him. But he was very busy, so I didn't want to get in his way. You know,
He's very
it's Merle.
spunky too. You don't want to catch him on a bad day.
He was great.
Yeah,
He was
they
great.
both were. It's unfortunate that they're both gone now.
Yeah.
But you getting to meet and record with, I mean, that's incredible. So I have to say, now that we're physically looking at you, you cleaned up a bit. What happened here?
Oh no,
you
it's
still got the
it's
chops.
under there.
I was gonna say, yeah,
It's longer than it looks on social media.
When I was doing research, I was like, "Oh, those are some awesome chops you have." And then I noticed, recent pictures, you got the beard going
You just
now.
trimmed it up.
Well, I grew this out over Christmas,
Okay.
and then got a haircut.
I'm so jealous. I can't grow any facial. They make fun of me at work.
We do.
Yeah.
I try to do Movember, and like 3 weeks in, I just got a bunch of like porcupine hair on my neck. So I'm jealous. Dude, you could pull off this amazing look.
When I was a little kid, my dad, he used those old razors that had the little
that opened up.
open.
Yeah,
and you put
my dad used to
double-edged
use
razor
those.
blade in.
Yeah.
And then he would take the blade out and close it and let me pretend to shave. And I was really into that. And he was like, "Don't get in a hurry because when you have to start shaving, you're going to hate it."
That's what my dad told me, and I'm still
And
waiting.
you've never had to.
I'm still waiting for that.
You're like, "I'm cool." You're still using one without a blade in.
I'm about to be 33 this year, and I still don't shave more than once a week. Yeah, man.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, that's one less thing to worry about.
That's true.
Exactly.
Thank you. Yeah, that's very true.
So there was no real motivation. It's just
Right.
kind of changing it up.
Well, I hadn't had a haircut in a long time, and my sister is a hairdresser, and she was always, I mean, guys don't take care of their hair. So anyway, she finally, it was very broomy.
Broomy.
That was her term.
Oh, okay. Sister.
I said, well, cut it off. It'll grow back. It's just hair.
Yeah.
So one thing, I was just looking at you guys' tour schedule. This is, I think, night number 3 of like your 5 West Coast California dates. So just how were the first couple tour dates so far? And then also I noticed you guys have like about a 10-day off period before you go to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So how were the beginning of this tour, and then what's next for those during those off days?
It's been great. We did. I can't remember. We started in Arizona, which was it was Arizona Bike Week.
And then Santa Cruz last night. Yeah.
It's been great. It's always great to come out here and especially to play the Fillmore. I mean, this is fantastic.
There's a lot of cool juju in that building.
It's hallowed ground.
It's amazing. And just seeing your guys' performance just on YouTube and stuff, you guys got the full rugs out there. And I'm like my dad would love this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like this is a perfect venue for you guys.
It is. It's great.
And then what's next for you guys during your off days for like the next week and a half? Do you go home to Atlanta? Okay, gotcha.
Oh, good. So you get a little time.
Spend time with family, and then I don't plan to do much.
I don't blame you.
I'm sure my wife has plans for us already, but
Does she let you kind of cool down when you get there, or she just go right into hubby daddy mode?
It's daddy. Paul, the other guitar player, has the same thing. We're gone so much. It's like, take these children.
Yeah, exactly. It's your turn.
Yes. Well, one thing that's I admire about you guys, Chasta sent me the video of like a 90-minute documentary about you guys. And it was just cool that when you guys get home, you're washing, your cars and you're having barbecues with each other.
Go right back into life, whatever that means.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's amazing. Also, it's cool that you have all the past tour flyers and what do you call it?
Oh yeah, Britt kind of collects all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's awesome that you guys do that. You're just one of those cool bands that I could totally just love supporting. That's really amazing.
Now you see why I love them so much.
You're welcome.
Well, we won't keep you too much longer. I know you got to get ready, but thank you so much for letting us come on board the Blackberry Smoke bus.
This is awesome.
I expected it to be a little smoky, and it's not. You cleared
Later.
it out. Later. That's after.
That's what Jay's looking for.
I know.
Sorry, not to out
Threw you right under the bus, Jay.
He totally did.
Prank caller.
But we want to encourage all our listeners, definitely follow you guys on blackberrysmoke.com for everything, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And of course, get the latest record, Holding All the Roses, which is out now. And it is record store day, so
That's
go by
right.
your record store or online if you need to. But I encourage go to your fellow record store and just support
the mom and pop shops.
Exactly.
Real quick, one more question. Do we have a date on the new album, or are we just almost there?
It's September-ish.
Okay. Wow, that's
really?
soon. Yeah. That's great news. Okay.
Oh, wow.
We can wait that long.
Awesome. Well, Charlie, thank you so
you
much.
so
You
much.
made Chasta's dream come true.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
This is perfect for her baby, future
Yes.
storyteller.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, Cody. Yeah. Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Thank you so much, and good luck with everything else the rest of the year.
Thank you.